Good evening. It's that time again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Club Racing UK podcast.
I'm honestly really gutted that we have a little thing at the bottom so we could see you put that on before we went live.
I just can't believe
it's so funny.
Welcome to the Club Racing UK podcast. You've been Tangoed. It's episode 6. And as you can see, we have been joined by 8 out of 10 cats as Joe Wilkinson. On the show today.
I love it. I don't know what you mean.
Well, it's certainly been an eventful few weeks. But as Matt Clary says, good evening, Matt Clary. Let's get on to the subject at hand that's going to start off tonight's podcast. Nick, what the hell happened with your beard?
Nothing. It looks absolutely fine. I think this is brilliant.
Have you dyed it?
No. It's naturally this colour.
Is it?
Naturally,
Yeah.
that cut. Yeah.
Have you trimmed it?
I don't know what everyone's been going on about. I don't know what. No, it's just got a bit wild.
What was it? Oh. You stop
everyone's been
brushing
going
it
on.
and
There we go.
put oil in it.
Sam Bierce joins us. Scott Woodwis joins us. Mario Neofitu. Good evening, Mario. Where the hell were you at the weekend? I saw Jimmy, but I didn't see you, mate. Alex Bohm joins us. He says, for fuck's sake, Nick.
What?
Vicky Pratt. Evening, gents. That looks better, Nick. Vicky, I didn't see you at the weekend. So I hope you're well anyway.
We got to see her. I'll tell you something. This is fucking irritating.
Well, you better take it off then. We need to talk about this, Nick. What's happened?
All right. Fucking hell.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now been joined on the show by a 12-year-old child.
Hey, everyone!
Nick, what happened? Come on.
Oh, I'll tell you something, I'm eating hair right now.
Fake beard in the mouth.
And not the good kind.
Ah.
Nothing happened. It's just facial hair, everybody. It'll come back. Don't worry.
Yeah, okay. And you want to elaborate? I mean, Nick, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Steph, if you just pull down behind us, I mean, the logo in the background kind of gives it away.
You're kind of a franchise, Nick, and you've ruined your own franchise.
Absolutely.
I've ruined the brand.
Exactly. Good evening, Jonathan Bevan. Good to see you at the weekend. Good evening, Michael Saunders. Well done at the weekend. You were absolutely impressive in the TVR Engines escort. Good evening, Philip Neal, who or Solar Motorsport, the chief, the head honcho, joining him live from the hot tub. We don't want the mental image of that, Philip.
You can't fart in a bath and call it a hot tub. You just can't.
Okay, well, I suppose I better get on to brass tacks because we have a fourth member in the studio this evening. Redseal Racing's Patrick Seal joins us. Good evening, Patrick. How are you?
Woo!
Hi, guys.
Hey,
The delay.
World's longest delay.
Sorry, Rob, you're not going to believe this, but I am actually on Sky, and typically it's rubbish.
Have we not learned anything from this podcast?
Come on.
My God. The first 6 episodes of my podcast were an absolute disaster whenever we were at the old house at Newbridge because I was specifically on Sky Broadband. Learn, people, Sky is shit. And Rupert
Come on.
looks like
This is an educational show. Everybody should have left Sky by now, surely.
Exactly, especially now Piers Morgan's joined it as well. Vic Cope joins us this evening. Saw Nick Saturday, still in shock. Vicky Pratt, sorry, I didn't see you, Rob. I did look. Oh, Vicky, we're right opposite Focus Cup. Right opposite Focus Cup. Nick, are you
filling his car up?
Too busy filling my car up with coolant, yes, but we'll come on to that. Nick, are you on the wine this evening?
I am.
Wow, shaved his beard and on the wine. I'm saying.
I know, right?
I'm saying.
I'm not helping my cause here, am I?
I know. Amelia Vincent.
It was all that was in the fridge, guys. Okay.
Amelia Vincent joins us. Good evening, Amelia. I'm hoping Amelia stays on. She is going to be getting a mention tonight, of course, as one of the Club Racing UK ambassadors, definitely. And was out racing at the weekend. Sophie Cleland, hi, it's the Shine Automotive fan page. Good evening, everyone. If you love Shine Automotive, of course you do. They are absolutely awesome.
Absolute legends.
We've got a bit of a low-key show today, to be honest. We're just going to be going over a few of the news rounds. We've all been mucking around at racetracks, and we've had Patrick Seal on, and he's going to tell us all about the highs and lows of his season in the Redseal Racing BMW M3. You've had some highs and lows, haven't you, Patrick?
Just one or two, yeah. And the whole season started high and then just gradually descended into an abysmal pit of despair, which is where I'm currently crying into my cornflakes at the minute.
Nick?
Can I just say something, right? Now, obviously, I know we've got you on to talk about your season specifically, and obviously we got loads of people watching this evening. Is anybody else having that kind of season? Because I almost feel like we've had that kind of season, Steph. Would you not agree? Rob's had that kind of season. Is anybody actually having a decent season so far? just a question out there for everyone.
The one thing I will say, ladies and gentlemen, if you are having a good season, if you're having a moderate season, if you're having a reasonable season, and you want to come on to the podcast with lots of images, with lots of videos, and tell everyone...
Spread the joy of motorsport.
Spread the joy of club racing.
Spread the joy of motorsport, because at the moment, after this weekend, I'm also crying into my cornflakes, and we'll just go with that. But for the moment, it's time for the news.
Oh, you caught me off guard, hang on.
Of course. Now I've just seen this. Jonathan Bevan. He's not raced. He has got a dodgy leg. Well, there we go. That's kind of a bad season, Jonathan. I mean, I'm not being funny. He's wearing a concrete leg. He's got one of those. He's got one of those dodgy walk-in boots on. I'm pretty sure it's because he's been.
He looks like RoboCop a little bit.
He does.
Like a gimpy seagull.
A gimpy seagull. I like that. Jesus, Jonathan, come back to that. Well, of course, the first bit of news, which is, well, it's kind of caused a bit of controversy the past few weeks, is the changes to the trailer test. So for our club races, I mean, to be honest, right, I've done my B+C test, Steph's done his B+C test, and Patrick Seal has done his B+C test. Look at the screen now and tell me what absolute half nut hasn't done his test and is very happy about it. Oh, yes. It's the guy that crashed into the New Forest.
Yeah.
It's the guy you wouldn't want pulling a trailer.
Exactly.
Just for the record, guys, how much did you all pay to tow a trailer? Because I paid fuck all.
I will be completely honest here. I don't know what's going to happen once the trailer regulations change. I don't know what. I have no idea what the standard of trailering is going to take. Absolutely no issues. I mean, to be honest, as Mr. Self put on Instagram, which made me cackle for about 10 minutes, I'm so looking forward to sitting in a traffic jam on the A303 because 17-year-old Holly that's just passed her test has tipped her horse box over and everyone's stuck in the traffic.
I saw that. It was funny.
That was quite. I mean, to be honest, what it has done is it's opened up an avenue for, let's say, the younger people to get towing and get into motorsport. It opens up an avenue. You've got less of a logistical issue there. Michael Saunders, same here. Never done mine. Solo motorsport. I'm with Nick on this one.
Right. I'm just going to put it out there. As much as I am gloating about it, fantastic. I do think there should be something out there that at least shows you how to reverse a trailer, because I've never reversed a trailer.
It is quite funny.
Oh, Sam Pierce, you bitch.
Sam Pierce, we haven't got to worry about Nick towing as the Vectra won't be built for another 10 years. Well,
that's being optimistic, mate. I tell you.
that's being very. But I mean, genuinely, how do you think this will? Are we going to see more accidents on the roads? What do you guys think?
100%.
Yeah, probably.
100%.
But so I did my trailer test 3 years ago, so I think I'm looking at it. I've got my money's worth because we wouldn't have been able to do anything in the last 3 years without it. So I'm not really that bothered. What I'm glad about now is that I won't be the only one that has to deal with the trailer all the time. So we can share the load. So I haven't got to make videos of us going racing with them two drinking beer in my van. I can go and do it and make them tow.
Exactly. Mariano Fitu. The AA paid for my B+C test, which I promptly passed. And then I handed my notice in.
Nice.
Well played, sir.
That is a way. Now, Kester Cook, I don't believe this for a second that Kester Cook has granddad rights because he doesn't look a day over 21. Does not look a day over 21, Kester. That's fair enough because, of course, if you have a license before 1997, I think it was, you had granddad rights anyway. So you could probably drive a lorry with that license. And you now get them now. Yeah, now you can get it in the bottom of a crisp packet. So that was the best 500 quid I've ever spent. Yeah, but Matt Clary also raises a point here. The most important bit is how to load your trailer safely. But where were you taught that? You won't start on a trailer test. To a point. Okay.
I think it was in the question. Exactly. That was the only thing they kind of tested me on this year was about the nose weights. Yeah. And evenly spreading the load. That was it.
Yeah, really? But that's a life lesson end of, really, isn't it?
What spreading the load, Mr. Four Kids? Walk into that one. Yeah, I mean, but to be honest, in all seriousness, I mean, when I did my test, I had to you know, you have to hitch up and hitch it up safely while being watched. You have to then go forward and reverse into a space while being watched. And you have to park within that space safely, get out, unload your trailer, drive off, then reverse up, hitch up, distribution. You tell the examiner what you need to check on a trailer. Now, if Dave has bought a dodgy trailer off eBay at 18 years old and he's going to tow his car down to do a track day at Brands, don't be surprised when someone's trailer comes flying towards you on the M25 just before the turnoff because he's not hitched it up properly.
Yeah, but
believe.
I mean, I have to say, I did mine beginning of this year. Cost me 500 quid. I've towed once since I've done it, so that feels like money well spent. But the actual point of going and doing the lessons, I'd still go and do the lessons now, even if I didn't have to take the test.
Yeah,
that's my thing. Is I surely, I don't know. Surely they should. I don't know if the government are. I don't watch the news. You know, should bring out some kind of information to make people more aware of how to tow. You know, is it now becoming part of the general driving test and things like that? It's not, is it? They're just going,
no.
Tow, enjoy.
No,
make it up as you go along, people.
Well, the only reason they're doing it is because they've just worked out that lorry drivers have been treated like shit for the past 20 years, and no one wants to drive a lorry anymore. And they've gone, we've got no stuff on the shelves. Let's make it easier for you to get a license. And they're shortcutting it, simple as.
Yeah, I get that, but surely you can't just go, help yourself, guys. Go on, tuck in. We might as well just say, sod it. Everyone can just drive. Don't do a test. Just drive a car. There you go.
Yeah, there we go. Liam Browning, this trailer test news is bollocks. No offence. They should at least do a CBT kind of thing for a trailer. Liam, don't sit on the fence. Don't sit on the fence, Liam. Just don't be scared. Don't be scared to make your feelings known, mate. We're all friends here. Sam Pierce, I'm not sure who's happier about the new rule, to be honest. Me is I don't have to pay for the test, or halves as now he doesn't have to drag the Civic around the country. I think, to be honest, Sam, when the announcement was made, halves did a little dance and promptly drank a celebratory pint. Right, let's send some love out this evening as well to Andrew Smith. He makes a very good point here. Not been able to race this season due to Motorsport UK revoking my licence due to the operation on his head. Now, that's what I call the season going badly. All we can say, Andrew, we hope to get you back on the racetrack soon. The most important thing, mate, get well soon, keep going, and I'm sure we'll see you at a circuit soon.
Boom.
Definitely.
Yeah. Get well soon.
Definitely.
Right, shall we talk about Ford Power Live then?
The glorified banger racing session.
I was going to say you've both made some comments to me. Now, Nick, you've got that look on your face. I'll be honest, I don't give a shit whatever you say. I never do. If you've got something you want to say you're not happy about get it off your chest. Go on, Nick.
Just gonna have a sip of wine first.
I just no. I had a wonderful time with my friends on Sunday at Ford Power Live. It was great. There was a disappointing amount of pop bangs, though, I must say.
Yeah.
Honestly, the highlight of that Ford show is pop bang maps. Let's be honest. Right? I actually quite enjoy a car show, and the Ford ones are my favourite because all you get to hear for 9 hours, or I don't know, however long you were there. If you were there the whole weekend, you get a whole weekend of it, of literally of little Fiestas and Focuses just going one bang, one bang, one bang, all fucking day. And I'll have to say, I was disappointed with the amount that were there.
You know,
even the convoy was shit.
Yeah, but you know why that's the case, don't you? You know why that's the case? Because all the pop bang maps have got to a point now where it's sent a fucking rod through the block, so they didn't make it to the show.
Yeah, but I've never seen that. I'd love to be at a show with some matey 40-year-old bloke in his Focus ST going one bang, one bang, one bang, because it's not boring after 3,572 fucking times. Then skyrockets a rod. That I would fucking love to see, but it never happens, does it? They just keep fucking going over and over again.
Exactly. Liam Browning, I never go to Full Power Live because of those, but I'd love to see the old classics on show. So there was a lot of good classic cars.
There was a lot of nice cars. There was a lot of nice Fords there. I'll give it that.
And I would say the modified Ford series is amazing.
Yeah, 100%.
I would happily pay money every time to go and watch them. They are just incredible.
Well, look at that lot. So this was Group A. It was that big an entry. They split it into 2 grids. So this was Group A. As you can see there, Dave Cockhill heading from Wayne Crabtree in that immaculate RS200 that just sounds bonkers. And Mike, I mean that green Escort. Okay,
it was awesome to watch. That was
so good.
He cannot drive in a straight line because the car is bonkers. But I tell you what. That was one of the most impressive drives of the weekend. And I think Mike got driver of the weekend. He got driver of the weekend.
Oh, he did. Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, it was quality.
Did he get driver of the weekend?
Yeah.
I know the baby blue Mark II Escort got driver of the day or driver of the weekend as well, didn't he?
He got that was James Harris. So he got driver of the day for the Group B session, which was the Class B and C, which is what I was at. And so Michael says all the pop bang maps left oil all over the track in the taster session. That was interesting at Surtees. It was. Let me just take this down actually, but it was actually because I think it was a Mark III Focus that dropped oil everywhere.
It was a Mark III Focus RS that just blew up and he didn't pull over as you're supposed to onto the grass. He decided to drive around the whole of the track, pretty much.
He did. I must say, can you pop that picture back up a sec there, Rob?
Yeah, absolutely.
My favourite car of the weekend, look at that yellow RS500.
That car in particular.
Look at that thing.
Absolutely. So it's in the Bathurst... It's in the Bathurst copy livery. We just lost Patrick for a second. We'll bring him back. It's in the Bathurst copy livery there. Driven absolutely brilliantly by Colin Tester. Of course, the Brands Hatch maestro. He's chief instructor at the circuit. Knows the place like the back of his hand. I think we've lost Patrick temporarily.
Okay. That's Sky Internet, everybody.
Hashtag don't buy Sky Internet. It is absolutely wank.
Yeah. That car was immaculate and absolutely gorgeous.
There we go. Solo Motorsport. I thought it was a black ST170. No idea what you're on about.
What's that?
Fluids everywhere.
Drop fluids everywhere. Well,
I tell you what car I really liked.
Which
can you guess?
Come on, what was it?
That pink Focus.
Rory's.
Rory's pink Focus.
That was a bit of an animal, wasn't it?
That is.
You can just see it in the background there. He had a good weekend, did Rory. Although, if you're going to race a really powerful car, you have to kind of make sure you've got the tyres to do the job. Because
I did see he shredded all his tyres pretty much in both races.
Really?
Completely, Nick. I'll tell you, completely delaminated. He came in and was like, I had this weird vibration. I don't know what it is, so I had to back off for a bit. Took the tyres off, and it was like, no shit. There's no tread left.
They were all gone.
All gone.
It did shift.
It did. Michael Saunders does say as well, his in-car videos are up on his YouTube page if anyone wants to see them. If you want to watch...
Drop them on the ClubracingUK paddock. Get them on there and we'll all start watching.
We'll share them around because I'll tell you something, mate. That was top driving. That thing, I don't think it was on 4 wheels at any point around Brands Hatch.
No. Watching it go around at the bottom is
spectacular to watch.
Getting up on 2 wheels, not even hitting the curbs, just full send, just doing his best. It was amazing.
I do believe we have Vicky with us from All Square Wrap and Ride this weekend, and I do believe she said that I think it was Chris that actually set that car up. So it would explain a lot as to why it was shifting so fast and going so well. But yeah, it was an absolute treat. It didn't matter where you looked on those modified 4 grids. It was an absolute treat to watch. If only the other race series to follow could, follow the same kind of standard that was going on there, really.
Yeah, well, this was the B-class grid that came out. So obviously our friend Phil at Solar Motorsport was out and I was out mixing it for most of both of the races. But unfortunately, I did hit a bit of
I was going to say, pop that picture back up a sec, Rob.
Yeah.
That was the one time you went round Graham Hill on the track.
Yeah, saying that. I mean, so basically, I'm not going to lie to you. I had a fucking disaster in terms of results. Both races I DNF'd. So the first race, the classic Ford Motorcraft cap just decided to spew coolant everywhere. they do get weak after a while, and it chose this weekend to go, you know what, I'm not going to quite hold a bit of pressure anymore, so let's just lose a bit of coolant out of the top of the header tank. I've actually got a clip of it here. We haven't got any audio, but I will.
Right. But just before you load it then, Rob, what I'd like you to do is talk us through it, including making race car noises and the noise when the cap popped. I think you should do that, especially for our audio listeners that can't see the videos.
Especially for the audio listeners. Okay, well, coming right up now is a commentated video, so let's get this done. So, into Druids, brum, 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 yep, turn in, yellow Puma on the left, out the way, mate, out the way, out the way. Oh my God, I'm going back downhill now. This is really fast, into the gear, and my rear tyres feel a bit slippy, and I'm going sideways, and I'm on the grass. That's not gone well. Brum, 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 brum. On the grass. Yellow Puma goes back. What are you doing that for, you wanker? Up into Surtees. Turn left again. Yep, that still feels really slippery. I think I'm dropping fluids. I'm going to go to the pit lane.
Nice. Well done, Rob. That was perfectly described there.
There we go. So that is for our audio listeners. So yeah, going down into Graham Hill Bends, I braked and turned in, and just the back end just went straight away. And I'll be honest, because of how sharp it snapped, I thought I had a puncture or possibly something on the back end that had gone.
Mm-hmm.
Corrected it, as you can see, onto the grass and back on. Couldn't hear any clunking or anything when I got back on, and I just started to turn for 30, and I could feel the back end going again. I'm like, what is going on? It's just got very, very slippery very quickly. So it turns out, the cooler header tank is on, as you'll look at the front of the car, it's on the left-hand side, and it's just pissed out the cap, dropped down onto my rear tyre. But unfortunately, we're not going to show the videos, but there was a couple of cars that did slip up on my coolant behind me, and it did cause a little bit of chaos. So much apologies to that. I did speak to the drivers. They were absolutely fine with it.
Why are we not showing the videos?
I'll be honest, I did try and upload it earlier, but I had the same problems that I had when I was trying to upload Steph's KA stuff.
Having some computer issues, I'm afraid.
We have had some computer issues trying to get the episode done.
So if anyone wants to sponsor the ClubracingUK podcast so we can afford some better equipment, send us a message.
Yeah, all jokes aside, definitely.
Chris Pratt still working on it, keeping 4 tyres on the tarmac. Mike drives that thing like a bloody hero. He does.
Nice.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, it was awesome. So good to watch.
I mean, don't change. It's quality entertainment and viewing for us.
It is. Liam Browning, no audio due to the language. They've got a good point.
Yeah,
there's nothing worse though. But there's nothing worse when you just get into a corner, the car feels fine, and then all of a sudden it just goes really wrong really quick, and you don't know what it is you did or what went wrong, and instantly you know, don't you, that something's not right, and it's a horrible feeling when you're not expecting it. It's nasty.
Yeah, something like that. It was. The thing is,
throwing you a little line there, Rob. Just follow it.
Yeah, I mean,
I was trying with sympathy there, mate. Empathy, but do you know what?
I'll be honest. There is another one that I've sort of found. There is another video I found that's going to show my race 2 woes. So we'll play that shortly. But there is a few people that I do need to mention, and one of them is Paul Harvey at Icon Events, because he sponsored my entry through it. I've not been having a good time in the past few rounds with TDC. I was, trying to keep the confidence up, learn the car a bit more. And he said, right, go and do the Modified Fords, go and have some fun and get yourself back into race mode and get your head back in the game. And to be honest, in terms of the weekend, absolutely did that, because race 2 was absolutely awesome until I hit further issues.
Race 2 was mega.
As I said to you earlier, Robert, you're qualifying in the races up until you had your mechanical issues. You drove brilliantly. The car performed well. You was up battling and stuff. It was really good. It was nice to see you out there doing really well, which is unfortunate. You had mechanical issues.
We were race 2. We were absolutely singing like, "Come on, mate! You can bloody do it!" And it was really good to watch. I loved watching it. In fact, and
I've got a video clip to show race 2. Just a couple of quick comments that have come up. Mario. Don't be too disappointed, Rob. The WRC Focus used to have coolant cap issues too. They are. I'll be honest. I mean, a lot of people have said
a Ford thing.
It is the genuine.
It's the same one on a KA. They're shit.
The genuine Ford Motorcraft caps are absolutely shit, but luckily we're going to sort that soon. Solar Motorsport. Let's hope brands bring back Rallycross. He's got a good point there. Let's be honest.
Very good point.
I did feel bad because apparently Phil did go off on my coolant as well. And he said, I have it on my in-car as I went up higher on the grass.
Love it. Do you know what, as well? I will say something. You're lucky you didn't have a splitter on, mate.
Oh, yeah, that proper fucked it.
Do you know what? I'd seen the pictures of the car and I thought, that's odd. Can't see a splitter on the front of Rob's car. I thought, I'm not going to mention it. Did enough ribbing last time on that, but you know.
No, he's getting it.
I mean, to be fair,
just don't put it on.
Well, no. The last lesson to learn to do the splitter is don't let bugger lugs drive it at Brands Hatch on the test day because within 3 laps it was toast.
Fucking attach it to your car properly, then, you dickhead.
Yeah, it's a good point. Anyway, we've got no audio clip here. This is courtesy of Dominic Ryan's on board of the Fiesta I was battling with. Do you want the special audio, Nick?
Yes, please.
Right. Okay. No. Here we go. There we go. Brum, brum, brum. I'm in your mirrors, mate. Come on. Coming through. Yeah. Down the straight. Plucking gears. That's it. Going to go for the big glory day down at Paddock Hill Bend. Brum, 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 brum. Down on the gears. Shift down. Turn in. Just clip the apex. Yeah, that felt really, really fucking good. I've just overtaken someone. And there goes my auxiliary belt. Little puff of coolant there out the back of the car. Puff, puff, puff. Away we go. Car's off behind me. What an absolute wanker. What have you done that for?
You made him lose a spot and everything.
I think he lost several spots. But, yeah, so unfortunately in the second race, I started at the back, made up several positions. And unfortunately just got to the point, as you saw, going up into Druids, alternator bracket snaps, alternator moves, bye-bye auxiliary belt, car overheats. I'm hoping, I think we managed to cut the car off in time. It did cause a lot of steam and it lost a fair bit of coolant. Not a lot. I think it was just the coolant in the header tank, but it did boil over. I've got to basically do some checks this week and make sure that she's good to go for Snetterton because, of course, another week and a half's time we are there for TDC. But just for this weekend, my mum and dad were there. My dad watched me race for the first time. That was fantastic. He took lots of pictures, really enjoyed it. He's not really ever been into racing, so that was good to do.
Nice. What a baptism of fire for him then.
Oh, yes. He got a lot of pictures. He got a lot of pictures. He liked the Focus Cup, liked the Formula Fords. Just liked everything about a race weekend to experience it. So that was special. But, yeah, my thanks once again, Paul Harvey, Phil, Solar Motorsport. He takes the piss now. But, he had a really good weekend as well. Got 2 good, solid races in. Amigo Motorsport as well. We all parked up together. Had a great time. And there was Rob Gaffney in with myself and Phil. There's Rob's Fiesta behind as well.
I've got to say, there is something wrong with that man.
What's that?
He just, it doesn't matter what you stick him in, he can bloody pedal it.
Oh, it's unreal. Absolutely unreal.
The man is a genius. I don't know. I don't understand it. It's just... What was that? A little 1.8 Fiesta SI, wasn't it? Mark III.
Yeah, so the car itself...
Fiesta SI.
Yeah, so the car itself, he told me the history on it. So that is the sister car to the Fiesta Cup car that his dad races, and they've got back at the workshop. So they've bought that to a point that it's still got the Ford Motorsport seals on the ECU.
Nice.
That's how genuine it is. And they went out in qualifying, had a misfire. First race, they still had a few niggles. But the second race, I did not see him for dust around the outside of everyone at paddock. If there's someone you want to follow in a race, it's Rob Gaffney. Absolutely.
You say that. I've tried following that bloke in a race car before. It's bloody hard work.
I can imagine.
He's like, honestly, insane. And then he got good result in the Focus Cup, didn't he? So.
There we go. Megan Edwards, I'm marshalling at Snetterton when you were there, so you better behave. I'll try my best.
You'll be picking Rob's car out of the field somewhere.
Yeah, probably.
I won't be far behind it. The supercharger belt hanging off.
I was going to say, Steph, if we arrange to do the track walk on the Friday, we can pick a nice spot to park up again, like we did at Combe.
Yeah, let's do that.
Have you asked Megan nicely? She might make you a picnic or something.
Oh, yeah, to be fair, let us know what post you're at, and we'll park there and get a cup of tea and something.
Cup of tea, sarnies. We'll do a couple of selfies with you as well with the podcast boys broken down at the Marshalls post. We'll make a good go of it. You're
going to do your best Alonso pose.
Yeah, just sat in the chair.
Take your deck chair in the back.
Matt Cleary, who's a big fan of the show since day one, been waiting all season for Rob to come to Snet. Should be a good day. I'm looking forward to it, to be honest. It's given me the vigour again, just having the car. Okay, it's not very reliable at the moment. We're working to fix that. But to be on the fucking pace, let's just go and give it a red-hot crack at Snet.
You've been building that car for 3-4 years now.
Yeah.
Since it was a production spec car. You've
Yep.
now turned it into a bit of an animal.
Yeah.
This first year is always going to be a learning curve, was it? You're always
100%.
You know, as a fellow proper club racer, you can't afford to go testing every bloody weekend, this, that, and the other. So you knew this was going to be the case over this year anyway.
And again,
I wouldn't be disheartened from this year's performances. Yes, don't get me wrong. I know where you're coming from. I'd be disappointed with any DNF, but it's part of.
It's just about how you drive, though, right? That's the thing. You can't, you can work on the car, but shit goes wrong. We bought 2 fully prepared race cars, and in both first seasons of both cars, something went wrong all the time, and we had to change, whether it was power steering pumps, belt failures, snapping track rods, all stupid stuff, and it ruins your race weekend. But you just got to take confidence from what you did on the track, and then fix the car, go again, and then eventually the car gets better, you get better, and you'll have a good season.
Yeah. Liam Browning sums up club racing, getting out the car with a smile, even with issues. Yeah. It's been a very, very good weekend. And to be honest, this season I've had a lot of good support this season. Nick.
For the record, Rob didn't get out of the car straight away with a smile on his face. It was just a large slam of the door,
it was very angry,
and he walked off. But afterwards, there were smiles.
It didn't help that I got ticked off by a scrutineer because I had an issue with the pull cable on the bloody auxiliary switch, and we still couldn't quite fix it. So he literally, as my car is steaming, they pulled me into the pit lane as I'm pulling in with steam coming up, and the scrutineer just sort of sits in and is like, blah, 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 blah. And I sort of turned and looked at him and went, I'm a bit fucking busy right now because there's steam piling up and you guys running towards the car. So that maybe have been while I was a bit... My bad. I'm sorry to the scrutineer. To be fair, one of them I used to work with at Crown Forklifts. He's retired now, Peter French. Sorry. I was very angry. I'll get it sorted for Snetterton. Don't worry. Chris Pearson, better late than ever. Good evening, folks. Good evening, Chris. I hope you are well.
Good evening, mate.
Yeah. Solo motorsport and sweat in your eyes. I know that is the worst thing when you're in a race car. It stings like crazy. Right. Stefan, enough about my car. How did the KA get on?
Not fantastic, I would say, Rob. It's not...
Come on, mate. Let's talk about it.
This feels like this is a counselling session more than a podcast.
I was just thinking it's one of the most depressing shows I've ever been invited on. Thanks, guys.
Do apologise, everyone.
Qualifying went all right. I think we qualified 5th, and then with with one team doing some naughties, we managed to get promoted to 4th.
I can't imagine that team would do naughties, Steph. What are we talking about?
I know, right? I mean,
what were the naughties? Not necessarily the people, but what were they doing to the car?
So when we're racing in endurance, we're allowed to refuel during the pit stops. In qualifying, in sprint racing, you're not allowed to refuel whatsoever. And they were refueling during their driver changes in qualifying. Or they were just refueling. I'm not too sure if they're doing driver changes, but they were refueling. So they got pinged for that. So we got promoted to 4th.
Ah, that's quite a weighty penalty.
Yeah, well, they got disqualified completely. So see ya. So we started in 4th for the first race. I had a really good start, to be fair. Got up the second by the first corner by Paddock. And then I was having a really good race with the pink pig, as I call it. And then I can't remember which lap, but I tried a bit of a lunge up into Druids, and it just I didn't pull it off, but it slowed me down. So then I think it was the Octane Junkies behind me caught up, and then went up the inside of me into Graham Hill, left him loads of room, and I think that slowed us both down. So then the car behind him went up the inside of him. He was sort of half on the grass, and then another car just decided that it was going to full send it on the inside of all of us, going straight up the side of the car, and just battering us around. Went through, which obviously knocked us back a bit. And then from, I don't know if it's in there or on, I can't quite remember, but the Pistonheads car behind me from there out. But every time I went into paddock, I was sideways. Every single time. And I was doing my best, trying different tactics, different lines, different approaches, and I couldn't stop it from going sideways, which was great for defence, because that was the only place he was getting close to me. And either he was like, I'm not even going to attempt that because we're going to crash, or I was just blocking the road by being sideways. I'm not too sure, but it was a good tactic for defence, but I wasn't going forward. So I can't remember where we finished. I think it was 6th, maybe 6th or 7th. I can't remember. Pretty sure it was 6th. So that was that. We looked over the car. We couldn't really find anything. We started messing around with tyre pressures and stuff. Matt went out in his race for the second race on a Saturday. He had similar issues with it going sideways, but not as bad. And then one of the cars started dropping coolant everywhere. And then going into clearways, they all went off, Matt included, into the gravel. He managed to claw his way back out. A lot of the other cars managed to claw their way back out. And then going into paddock, this card obviously continues. They all went off again. And then unfortunately, one of the Alex Rees cars went off in paddock and then barrel rolled it across the barrier, causing a bit of destruction there. And then it was red flagged, I think, from there. Did it restart? I can't remember.
No, they didn't. We were waiting in the holding area for the first race, I think it was, for news. But I mean, look, again, we've not got any footage of it. Then there is footage out there. It's quite horrific because the way the accident happened,
It's a different one. It's a different one.
Oh, it's a different one.
There's one rolled on Saturday, and then on Sunday for race 3, I was back out, starting in 6th. I had another good start, to be fair. And then going around, it was only 3 laps in. I don't know where I was, to be fair, 4th, 5th, something like that. Yeah, and then someone had a bit of it was on their own doing, to be fair. There was no other cars involved. They had got a bit wide in paddock, touched the gravel, and then it all sped up from there for them. It was pretty bad. They got a couple of wheels in the gravel. I'm sure you find it on YouTube. We're not going to show it, obviously, for obvious reasons. But they got a couple of wheels in the gravel. He went to correct it, which chucked him back in the gravel sideways, and then it just repeatedly barrel rolled, hit the barrier, went over the barrier into the catch fence. So it was quite a bad crash for him.
Went into the top of the catch fence as well. So it's very lucky that it did stop where it did. Obviously, the fence did what it was meant to do, which was good.
Caught the door as well.
Yeah, I think, to be fair, the car must have done about 10, 12 rolls before coming to a stop.
It did a lot.
It was very quick.
But the barriers and stuff did do their job, which was good. And we've had reports back from MSV and various people that the driver he went off to the medical centre, and I think he went off to hospital from there on.
He was released on Monday.
But he's fine. I think it was more concussion and some other battered and bruises rather than anything serious. So we wish him a speedy recovery, and we hope to see you back in the paddock again soon. But the car was a bit more of a mess than that. So that put an end to that. So I only got 3 laps, and that was the end of that race. So we didn't manage to do much with that. And then in the 4th race, at the end of the show on Sunday, Matt was back in the car. To be fair, had a good race. He was battling hard. He was up in P3. And again, some silly manoeuvring from others led to some stupid, pointless crash. And then one of them decided, rather than just pull out the way, continue on, dropping fluids everywhere. So then the lead pack come round, hit the fluids. He did his best to try and avoid it. But unfortunately, it was inevitable, really, that there wasn't enough room because he was chasing pretty hard. And then which is really unfortunate because the guys Alex Reed are amazing and really nice guys, and their cars are really nice. And I'm really gutted we're the ones that hit it. But it caused a lot of damage.
They kind of hit. We were both pirouetting across the grass, weren't we? And it kind of collected each other, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's just a shame. But we got a little video of that just to
Let's have a look.
bring the excitement.
Got video.
So yeah, it caused a lot of damage. Well, it put us out of the race because it snapped the drive shaft. But not that it caused a lot more damage than that anyway. But that was the reason why we couldn't continue. And it caused a lot of damage to them. So it's just one of them. We was on for a good, we was battling for second, but in a strong third. So it would have been nice to round out the day with that. But just silliness is then. Someone's decided to try and carry on, dropping fluid everywhere, and it's just.
I think the move. I think the move that caused it, even before the fluid break, was from what I'd seen.
Yeah, it's the same.
It was a move that was never there.
It's just I don't know whether it's sprint racing or whether it's something else, but for some reason people would trying ridiculous moves that which is not necessary. We wouldn't normally, we did 5 hours at Alton Park in a pissing rain, and there was barely any contact, barely any. I don't think anyone come out there that bad. And then we've done that sort of sprint racing, and it's just carnage. I think people just, this is my own view, obviously, but it's just I think people need to realise that we're not winning £1 million for winning these races. We're racing for our own enjoyment, our own fun, our own passion. And some of the moves are just a bit gung-ho, and then it's causing other people a lot of money in repairs for no reason. There's no gain in it, but, that's my own opinion.
I love how Patrick is very, 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 very...
Yeah, I mean, we'll get on to Patrick's issues.
We'll get on to Patrick in a minute, that's for sure.
This show's just going that way.
Come on, right.
Depression.
Before we go into depression, let's bring up some positivity. Let's go back to the comments. Alex Boom, he had a strong weekend in the modified Fords as well. Club Racing was strong at the weekend. One of our cars had a wheel bearing go and had no end of offer for support. Awesome paddock. Michael Saunders also sums up Club Racing, slamming the door, throwing your gloves across the awning and blaming my dad for a £10 oil line failure. Classic Thunder 2021. Sorry, Dad. Yeah, I'll be honest, lads. I didn't know I did that. I just was so pissed off. I was just like, fuck off. And that was it. So one of those hit of the moment. But again, a big shout out to Phil as well. We've talked about our own. I mean, Phil had a great weekend. He's got 102 horsepower. No, he's got about 140. He's in a Focus that was, competing against a lot of higher power cars. And he did okay, slipping up on my coolant. So,
but he didn't drop coolant, did he?
No, he didn't. But
there you go.
That's just one of those. Just one of those. Jonathan Bevan, you need to get some of those super Yokos, Steph.
Yeah, I mean that's bullshit. Let's hang on. Let's stop and talk about that for a minute because it's not been as noticeable as it was at Brands Hatch. I mean, I think we were top in Toyos. And when you followed a Yoko car through clearways, it was bullshit. I followed their exact line and tried to do everything I could to stick with them, and they didn't have to brake and then just powered all the way through. I could not brake through clearways, but I had to throttle on and off. I was washing out the whole way. They never washed out. They were just off. They went.
That has been an absolute.
But I've been told that they've now ran out of Yokos and not selling anymore. So the final race of the year. We should all be on Toyotas.
It should have never have continued on. That's my opinion. It's made an absolute farce of this year, if I'm honest.
It's ruined the one week. Everyone's the same.
I said this to Matt the other day. I get the beginning of the season there was issues because some idiot crashed. Maybe that guy that crashed the boat didn't do his trailer license. Maybe. That's what caused it. But that's what they were blaming, wasn't it? That there wasn't enough Yokos. But there's been plenty, not Yokos, Toyos. And there's been plenty of, because everyone else has been buying Toyos the rest of the year, no trouble at all.
Yeah. Well, we've never had to buy Yokos. I've been on Toyos.
Why the fuck have we had to carry on buying the second time? It's just bullshit. I'm sorry. It's absolutely tarnished this year for me. I think, personally, it's been an absolute farce. I'm done with it. I'm totally done with it. Thankfully, I haven't been racing this year in it because I would have properly thrown my toys out the pram. Being involved, I feel for these guys. The other way, Nick, that way. I feel for these guys that have stuck to their guns and stuck with just the Toyos, which was meant to be the tyres to use, because we pre-organised everything and we bought the tyres we were meant to use as governed by the series. And then they were like, no, actually.
Yep.
And I'm sure there's other teams that have done the same, but then there's obviously other teams that have gone, buy the faster tyre. Woohoo. Yeah, well, but I said to Matt the other day, Steph, they need to outlaw it for the 500. There needs to be purely Toyos only at the 500. And if there isn't that, I think bollocks it. Don't even enter.
But what I will say from the sprint racing, congratulations to Shine Automotive for getting a top 10.
Yes,
that's quality, and the pink peg for the 2 wins, and Octane Junkies,
as well. Yeah.
There we go. Right.
Yeah.
Just looking back on the comments.
Positive.
Yeah, I'm
going to get off my high horse.
I'll also take it back. Anything nice I said about Phil Neal because he's trying to grass me up here. You could blame that on Rob's coolant. He's said to Jamie Goff, Rob, was that your coolant that cost me 3rd place? It depends.
Yes,
it depends. Where was it? Whereabouts was it? Was this
your coolant? Fucking everywhere.
No, hang on. Was it Graham Hill or 30s?
I don't know. We haven't got a crystal ball, Rob. We're gonna have to wait, and move on.
You said you saw him fucking spin off. Anyway, yeah, thank you, because he's also said that apparently I owe Jamie Goff 20 quid. Not happening. I'm skinned. Jonathan Bevan, if you throw new Yokos on each meeting, it's a massive difference.
Yes, it is. I'm with you, Jonathan.
Wait, mate. It's even better if you put Yokos on the front, Toyos on the rear.
Well, yeah, it is. But that's the ultimate performance of the KA at the moment.
There we go. Right, okay. Now let's move on to some positivity, shall we? Because Castle Combe had their grand finale weekend, and for the first time this year, we have started to crown some champions. Now, my supercar did the same. They had the weekend out with the MG Car Club, and they've crowned some champions in the NG Metros and such, and we'll cover that another time. Chris Dawes, however, had this view when he woke up to the commentary box. That's a bit fodgy.
Oh,
fodgy.
That was at 8:10 on the Saturday.
Oh dear.
However, as glorious as Castle Combe is, everything cleaned up and they were able to get the fast and furious track action underway. The Track Attack Racing Club made an appearance as well, with Rich Hockley and Sean Gubbard sharing wins in their respective cars, the 106 and the Civic. Nice and close. Now, Chris Pearson, I have seen you've messaged me, my friend. I will get some more photos off you next time. These are courtesy of Visual E Photography. But if you do go onto the Sepia Photo website as well, he's got some fantastic images on there of the grand finals day as well. The Castle Combe Saloons Championship champion was James Keepin in the MG, but it was these guys shouting at the front with Adam Preble in the Astros you could see there. And there's the eventual champion with his flag on the podium. Isn't that nice? It's quite cool how they do it. I'll be honest, I do like how Castle Combe do that with their drivers and everything. It's very nice. It's very personal, showing everything off. It's a bit more than just a Facebook post going, right, here's our champion for the year. Yeah. They look after their drivers.
No, I like it.
Tony Bennett, the driver, not the singer, was the eventual GT champion. And the Formula Ford 1600, Oliver White claimed the crown there as well. Also on show that weekend was the Mighty Minis that have started to get the grids back up again. You cannot beat a classic Mini when they're all racing side by side.
No. Did you see anything from the Goodwood Revival?
Oh, mate, yeah, I was just going to say that, Nick. I was just going to say it. I was there, and it was incredible. I mean, the list of drivers in that Mini series, like, it's just absolute legends of motorsport.
Yeah.
I
think you even texted to me, didn't you? Saying, just look at this driver lineup.
Oh, that reminds me, I've got the list. So go on, carry on, Rob, and I'll find a list of drivers' names on them because it's mental.
Well, to be fair, Patrick, you say you were at the Revival. We're going to show you that we know you were at the Revival in a minute. But first, I've just got to say how proud we are of our ambassador, Amelia Vincent, who had her final race 100%. In the Hot Hatch series. She's taken second place in her class for the year. And we will have her on. We will have Amelia on for a later show to talk about her first season racing cars. Well done, Amelia.
Yeah, we will be doing an ambassador roundup with everybody. So
superb. Right, to be honest, I did have some other things on the agenda, but we are quite pressed for time, and they're kind of towards the BTCC end of things. But I don't suppose you guys saw that they've changed their fuel to something more sustainable. They're going eco. Apparently, the touring cars are going eco-friendly.
Wow.
We're trying to uplift this show, Rob.
Yeah, I know. Okay, we'll just fucking change it from there, then, shall we?
It's pointless. What are they going to be? You can't make most eco-friendly.
But you can because you put hypertension.
Don't give me that.
Well, let's be fair.
Every mile you do, go plant a tree.
I have caught up on some of the touring car stuff as well at the weekend. Have you guys seen Tim Harvey's rant on the circuit? Yeah, if you get a chance, get yourself online.
As I said to you the other day, Rob, this year I am not bothered one bit by the BTCC. I don't know what it is.
I go onto the highlights to watch the support stuff. Honestly, I watched the mini challenge, but there was a couple of high-level accidents there at the weekend due to stuff like tyre stacks and bollards and stuff like that. It's not good.
I used to sit religiously watch the entire 8-9 hour day. Make sure you have a sleep while the Porsche Carreras are on, because that's just the law.
Yeah. hang on. What about Formula 4? Or Formula Yawn?
Yeah, whatever. No, it's always been the way. I'll sit and watch. Formula 4 will probably go off and do something else. But Porsche, if the Porsches are on, nap time. That's just the law.
Yeah, but last year the Porsches were.
Go on.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't the case because old Mr. Harry King was involved.
That was awesome. Last year was awesome. Harry King,
watching him race, that actually stopped me falling asleep. But just not been watching BTCC this year. I don't know why.
Yeah, I did hear about the stat.
Yeah, there was quite a few. The biggest crash, like Sam Pearce says here, the biggest crash of the weekend wasn't televised due to the tyre stack. So I think Tim Harvey absolutely lost it on air and pointed the blame firmly at organisers, circuit makers, and everything like that. So he posted about that because there's a lot of people asking for change. Stefan.
So they just not cut the corner, then it wouldn't have been an issue.
Thank you.
Very good point. However, track limits and everything like that. Nick, have you ever cut a corner while racing?
Never.
Yeah, but I haven't cut a corner to hit a tyre wall.
Nick has never cut a corner while racing. I'm going to call you a fucking liar. Steph, have you ever cut a corner while you're racing?
Not when there's a tyre wall in it.
Yeah, but have you ever cut a corner while racing? I'm not saying...
That's irrelevant, because when you go around Snetterton on a 200 circuit, they stick a tyre wall on. When you go around a hairpin, going back onto the back straight, they stick a tyre wall in there. I've never hit it.
Well, let's see. I will say, Chris Dawes, Ben Griffiths can't wait to commentate on it, probably for his love of Nicholas Hamilton. We'll leave it there. CSCC night race this Saturday as well. I'm looking forward to that. And
that's cool. That is.
Scott Woodward as well. Shout out Stephen Daly for smashing it in a Ginetta GT5 and getting the win first time out, graduating from Club Racing, the BMW Compact Cup, to go into Ginetta GT5s and win on the telly. But yes, watch this space, because if the big wigs get their way, or certainly the telly people get their way, there may be some changes at some circuits, but that's for another episode.
Oh.
Right. Right. We shall carry on.
Bring it back up. Let's go.
Okay. Sam Pearce. Cutting wasn't the issue. The stack moved so many times in a day and was never put back to the same place. So race by race, it was different for drivers to calculate the corner.
Okay, that's fair enough.
But why did it move?
I mean,
But the stack needs to change.
Why did it move? Then?
You can have windrush of cars going by, but I mean, a tyre stack, if one gets flipped up and lands on the car behind and injures the driver.
Oh, yeah, I get that. But I would just mean, has it gone on the track and then they smashed into it and that was a big crash? Or have they gone off and hit it?
So for me, it was at Croft, wasn't it? This weekend was Croft?
Yes.
Isn't it all concrete there? They've just put a track in between.
I think there is curbing there too.
They just put. I was going to say, if there's curbing in there and gravel there, that would be enough to put people up. There is no need to put a huge tyre stack. And I get it.
Yeah. It
stops people going and doing it. And I totally agree. If there is a movable object that could then be brought onto the track because of piss poor driving, then fair enough. But wasn't this an issue at Donington when they had those massive sausage curbs causing massive amounts of damage and trouble, but people were over driving the circuit, so they took the sausage curb out and now everyone just straight lines the fucking chicanes. It's like,
but a lot of people are still getting track limit penalties because they put sensors there instead. It works.
And that's I was just waiting, Rob. That is the answer, is track limits penalties. People will quickly stop doing it. It's the same in Formula One. Like at Goodwood at the weekend, I couldn't believe how much grass was still so close to the circuit, but it was like 2 or 3 yards of grass, and then there'd be a load of concrete runoff, right? So actually, it stopped you going onto the grass because you knew you were going to have a spin. The drivers knew they were going to have a spin if they got on there, and so they stayed off it, right? It's really easy, but you've got to have a clerks of the course enforcing track limits. It's just
100%.
But this is all for another episode. If we're talking about circuits and changes, we're going to be opening a can of worms here if we're not careful. So, on to our main topic for today. So, Patrick, we have you on here for a reason. We need to talk about how your season's gone, don't we? Stefan?
Patrick, I don't mean to rude. I just need a wee.
That's fine.
There we go, boys. Hang on.
Why? Love it, boys. Well done.
There we go. So,
just for the record, quickly, why has he just put his hand up to go for a wee? We're not in school anymore.
Well,
I only put my hand up to just make it aware that I want to say something, but he starts our permission if he can go for a wee.
Right, now, you went to the Goodwood Revival at the weekend, didn't you? Okay.
I did. First time.
When is Muttley going to turn up? When is Muttley going to turn up? Because you look like Dink Dastardly here.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
I love that bit. I love that bit.
It was first time I've ever been to Goodwood. First time I've been, obviously, therefore, to the Revival. And I mean, if you love cars, you have got to go to the Revival. It is something so special. Just, everybody is obviously dressed up. I don't just usually wear that on a Saturday afternoon. But some of the cars and stuff, it was the first time I've ever heard an original GT40 at full chat, and it just sends shivers through you. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So I'd highly recommend, if you've not been, book a ticket. I know it's not cheap, and I have to say the beer prices are as a northerner. The beer prices are a disgrace, frankly. But I mean, when you're paying £7 for a pint of Moretti, it's a joke. But the event is just something so special, and I'd go again tomorrow in a heartbeat.
I was very lucky to win tickets. 8-9 years ago, must have been about 9 years ago. I won tickets from, I think it's what's the green magazine, Motorsport magazine.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Rob. I won tickets through those guys.
The green magazine.
The green one.
The green magazine.
The
The green one. But yeah, I won tickets through those guys. It was really, really unexpected. It was very last minute, but like I said, we had to quickly dress up, and we managed to pull it off. But yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? If you don't dress up, you look out of place. It's ridiculous.
And
how good and how much effort everybody puts in.
So my wife said to me, she was stood there trying to take a picture down at turn 1, and everyone's obviously in dress up, obviously in the get up. And she took this picture and she was like, "Oh, look at that! Look at that's great!" And then her face just dropped because there was some guy just in jeans and a t-shirt, and she was like, "He's fucking ruined that picture."
God's sake! It's a very special event.
Patrick, Chris Dawes here. Get down to the Autumn Classic at Combe 2, Patrick, and he follows it up with the line there. Much cheaper beer.
Done. I'm done, Chris. I'll see you there. That's done. Well, I've been to the Silverstone Classic this year. I've been to the Revival, so why would I not come to the Combe Classic? Sounds like a good weekend.
Awesome. Okay, so talk us through your season. So this wonderful picture here, that's some success, isn't it?
Yeah, mate. I think this is probably one of the highlights. So that was Brands Hatch. So race 2 of the season, we qualified 8th, and we were running around in P5, I think. So we had a pretty decent start, made a couple of places. We were the benefactors of the guys fighting out in 2nd and 3rd, taking each other out, which promoted us to P4 on the road and 3rd in class. And yeah, I mean, we worked really hard in pre-season. We went testing at Donington, so we were joined by Chris Pratt. Race 1 for us was Donington, so we tested there. There we go. That was it. And you guys were there in the UK. Yeah, love that photo. Love it. They didn't actually. Was it you that took that photo, Nick?
I think it was. Yeah,
I think it was. Yeah. So Chris Pratt joined us. We invested, rather than investing money in the car, we had Sarah Moore come and join us to give us some driver tuition. And there she is. Yeah, she was just taking my dad out for a couple of laps at the end of the day. I mean, I'm just glad my dad got out of the car with his heart still going, frankly, because she scared the crap out of me when I got in with her. So, and my dad's just pushed 70, so I was a bit worried. But yeah, so we tried to invest some stuff in the setup. Chris, at Donington, between Chris and Sarah, we ended up 4.5 seconds a lap faster by the end of the day. And to buy 4.5 seconds in modifying your car is an obscene amount of money. So comparatively, their services were really, really good value for money. So thank you, Chris. I think Chris was on earlier, so thank you, mate. We had an awesome day together there, and then we just Donington. We picked up 4th on the road, 3rd in class, which was our first trophy in Tangoed. So start of the season, what an absolute high. So really right up here. That doesn't get any better. And that weekend we announced. That same weekend, we announced a partnership with Sheffield Hallam University. There we go. Guys, it's almost like you know exactly which photos to put up at the right time. It's amazing.
These guys are good. I told you these guys are good.
That was the logo reveal in the back quarter. You can see there, and we're going to be doing a load of work with the university students from the engineering faculty. So we're going to be doing a load of aero experiments and testing on the cars. We're going to do some parts testing. We're going to design and develop better parts for the E36 and the E46. So folks, look out for those in the future. If anyone's driving 36s and 46s, we're going to have some, fully, engineered race parts tested, developed by the University of Sheffield to sell over the coming probably 3-4 years. So look out for those. All in all, I mean, as a weekend, that weekend was just an absolute high point. And then we just carried that momentum all the way in through to Brands. And then so I got to I might have just brought it along with me for the show, but I got to keep that trophy. got to keep that trophy from Brands. But I have to say the thing about Brands, which will stick with me for a while, was the accident of Barry Cully. So I don't know if Martin's on tonight or not, but the Cully guys are two big guys in the Supercut series. A lot of people know them. They race in TDC as well. Barry had a huge accident in his Seat. I mean, completely destroyed the whole front end of the car. And I was just really, there was two things from that. The way everyone kind of got around Martin and helped sort his car out, get it trailered up, make sure his stuff was sorted, because obviously his dad was going off to hospital, and then hearing a couple of days later his dad was okay. It really was a big one. So strength, kudos to whoever built that car, because it did exactly what it needed to do to save his life. I've no doubt about that. Really, really big one. So really, really pleased his dad came through that. So yeah, I mean, for the first two races down, third in class, sitting third in the championship, which is the highest we'd ever been in Super Cup. So it felt like a pretty great start to the season. And then went on to Snetterton. We had a good day testing there. Qualified P7. Didn't have the best of starts off the line, but within 3 laps, my brother, so Danny we were fighting for P3 on the road, which is the first time we've ever really, on our own pure pace, pushed the front of the grid. And so that was awesome. And then, we had a small accident. Is that me or Danny? Oh, they're white gloves. That was Danny.
That's not bad.
And then unfortunately it kind of unraveled from us from there. So we were about 10-15 minutes into the race. Danny was fighting the Intelligent Money Porsche, if people have seen that knocking around. So Steve Hewson in that. And they were going into so we were on the Snetterton 200, going into turn 2 into their hairpin. We caught up with a back marker who stayed well left and well out of the way when they saw Steve coming through. Mm-hmm. And I'm just guessing, just didn't see Danny behind it, like immediately behind. So as Steve's gone through, he's cut back in on the apex and just pinched Danny into the apex. Now, to be fair, as he's pinched up, Danny's hit the brakes a bit harder, and he's then locked the inside front right as it's unloaded. And then, Danny missed the apex. Bit Hamilton Verstappen, really. He missed the apex by about probably a metre or so on the turning. And they had a coming together, and then that put us, I think, back down to P8. And then to make it even worse, we then had a short pit stop. So we were short on the pit stop by, I think it was less than 0.006 of a second, which sucked. So we would have ended up P5 in the end, because we managed to make a couple of places back, but because of the penalty, we ended up 10th. So that was a real shame, because actually we could have had a genuine podium finish that weekend. So but again, as I talked about earlier, you just got to take the positives out of it. Our pure pace was incredible. And I say incredible, I mean, I'm talking relative from where we were, right? So where we have been, to be pushing the front of the Super Cup grid, we were just over the moon. So then we went off to Cadwell. Go on.
I was going to say, you mentioned Cadwell. Can we interrupt to show a lap of pure pornography?
I didn't know if you like this one too much, because it's just a qualifying lap. But yeah,
Nick, gird your loins, mate. Let's roll the video. Jesus Christ! I've just come in my pants.
I think I've had a trouser accident.
It got a bit exciting coming into the mountain, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, so yeah,
A little bit tricky.
I'm glad you caught that bit because the bit I didn't. I'm sorry, Rob. I didn't have time to clip this down. But
It's all right.
During the race, just on the lap into the pit stop. So again, we were in fighting for P3. We were fighting with Steve Hewson in the Porsche again, and Danny comes into the mountain on his in lap, and he just where Danny caught it that time on the first turn in. Yeah, did not catch it second time. So ended up coming across the mountain, took all of the grass with it. So there's just grass all over the mountain.
That's an invoice from Mr. Palmer.
Yeah. And he comes steaming into the pit lane, and there's just Tango's face is just full of grass. The brakes are just on fire, and they're literally strapping me into the car. And there's the marshal stood there with the fire extinguishers on the wheel, and the cabin's filling with smoke, and I'm being strapped in, and I'm going, somebody tell me this is going to be okay.
Please.
There's smoke and flames. Amelia Vincent, oh my. Chris Pearson, what's in your left hand, Rob? That's my pen. No IS on the end, my pen. But that was a lovely lap, and I'll be honest, that soundtrack I could listen to for years.
Yeah, she's that S54 engine is just, it's just something else. But yeah,
there isn't a better sounding race engine, is there? Do you think, other than the V8 supercars? I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean that's Tango. We run her at 60%. Well, I think it's less than. I think it's about 58% throttle to meet the regs. So she goes higher and faster and louder than that, and she's a very special thing, Tango, I have to say. So, and I should say
I run it at 58%. That's
I mean it was a brick car previously, so it was built to be wound up at about 380, 385 brake. So we just can't run her at that in Super Cup. It's too much. So, but yeah, I mean, credit to Jeff Steele, built a quality car from a setup and an engine perspective. So yeah, and the worst thing, Rob, about all of that lap is, so we'd been there the day before testing, which was the most obscene and shittest testing day I've ever had in my life. So folks, by the way, if you ever go book your testing at Cadwell, don't bother. It's crap, because it is. So if you booked a normal track day, you would probably get more seat time. But because it's a test day on a race weekend, we were just talking about track limits and corners, right? Everyone knows you come over the mountain, there's a little chicane. And for some reason, they've got, bearing in mind it's a race test day, right? They've got 2 bollards up as apex markers. Well, how long do you think they stayed up for?
About a second.
Yeah, pretty much. So out lap, straight out, gone. And they red flagged it every time. So
no way.
Out of 300,
stick to the bloody track then.
Oh, I know, Nick, but yeah, I mean, come on, for bollards, I mean that those little plastic stupid orange things it's ridiculous. But you're right to a point, Nick. Right, the drivers should have learned, and they didn't. And so we, out of a full day's testing, which was 380 quid, we did a total of 18 hot laps.
Jesus!
That's how shit it was.
People.
That was how shit it was. And we paid to have Sarah Moore with us because I'd never driven Cadwell. So it was just a relative complete waste of money. But yeah, so anyway, we went. The worst thing about all of that.
So hang on. So that was how much was the test day?
380 quid.
Right.
I think.
So you paid £21.11 per hot lap.
Thanks for that, Rob.
And a bit more for Sarah Moore.
Tuition, fuel,
tyres. Yeah.
Palmer's just sat there like, look at all that money for my helicopter fuel.
We need some more bollards.
although I have to say, my brother very much enjoyed that testing day because and the minis were there. Andrew Jordan was out in his mini, and my brother went past him in the straight. So my brother gets to say he overtook Andrew Jordan. I mean, bearing in mind you're talking about a mini Austin versus an M3, but
that's a little bit.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
No, not at all. Yeah, well, and that's the thing that upset me the most is during qualifying. So my fastest lap in qualifying, which was a second faster than my testing day, the day before, was a 1:42.7. So I was like, okay, I've gone quicker. That's probably pretty competitive. Turned out it wasn't even remotely competitive. Danny gets in the car and he's obviously seen everyone else's qualifying times. So he realised he needed to put his big boy pants on, and in about 3 laps he went and did a 1:39.9. I realised. I had to go and have a little word with myself between the hours between the track race.
Were you only using 40% of the throttle?
we actually we did have a look at the data logger, and we did find that on the mountain I might not have been completely flat like I should have been. Even though I thought I was flat, I wasn't. So I had to go find my big boy pants.
The data will always find you.
Yeah, it does, mate. It does. But yeah, I mean, that was another race. We were fighting for P3 on the road, and then we had another short pit stop, which was really annoying. So I mean, most people will be familiar with, like, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we took that advice and we thought, okay, we'll change the way we did the pit stop, bearing in mind we were short at Snetterton. So we changed it and then managed to still get it wrong, which I thought was quite impressive. Ended up P7 that race. And then, so, relatively the season's still going fairly well at that point. Yes, it was frustrating, but we were pushing the front of the grid. The car was going well. We were getting faster and faster. So, yeah, you take that as being pretty good, right? And then when we get to Silverstone.
Oh, I like this bit.
Now, bearing in mind, Silverstone was the first race in, what's it been, 18 months where you can have friends there, family there. They can get into the paddock. You can have guests. So we were really lucky. We had quite a lot of friends and family come and join us. We had a guy called Chris Torr from Gruffalo Images who wanted to get into a bit of photography. So sorry guys, my cat is going mental in the background here.
Can you feed the cat?
We like animals on this show.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say I'll make her a slipper if she carries on, but she's getting pretty close to it.
I like it.
Chris Torr had seen some of the work from our main photographer, Nick Rowley at Any Sports Photography. Most people will probably be familiar with his stuff. So he'd come along. Sarah Moore had got a gap in a W Series calendar, so she came along. Just, what does a racing driver do on the day off? Go to a racetrack.
Go to a racetrack.
But we couldn't get on testing, and the problem was the GT Cup was on, so we were supporting the GT Cup, and testing was booked. I mean, we went to book testing 12 weeks in advance, and it was just fully booked. Couldn't get on. So turned up, went out cold, qualified P10, and frankly, we knew that was a problem. So the car, it was a 45 car grid, I think it was.
It was I think it was mixed with TDT, wasn't it?
Mixed with TDT. There was quite a few Supercut guest entries and stuff like that. So so we knew P10 was a bit of a problem, right? Because, the further you get to the front, the less danger there is. Everyone kind of knows that. Nick, I guess, Rob, you should probably roll the video because, I mean, this was the race.
Let's play the onboard from your onboard first. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
Has that got to be the shortest race in history?
Yeah, I think we measured it from lights out to, well, where I stopped, about probably 6 seconds, I think.
Fucking hell.
And we also have another view that sort of shows the whole crash from one of the cars behind.
There was like 4 or 5 half decent cars all caught up in that.
Yeah, 2 E46 M3s, RE36, and a Porsche 996. Now that guy in the Porsche, some people might remember it, but that was the Porsche's first race since 2013, when he was put into the wall off the start at Alton Park, turned upside down, and had to completely rebuild the car, engine, etc. Cost him 43 grand to rebuild that car.
I think I vaguely remember that. I remember seeing the picture in Autosport. Yeah, so that would have been about 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Now the driver has raced since, but that was the car's first back outing, and yeah, 43 grand, and 7, 8 years later, he's straight back into a pit wall.
Wow. If ever there's a curse, on something.
Yeah. So yeah, for us, that's it's pretty horrific. I mean, the only panels that aren't damaged are the roof and the boot. So that's not.
Well, that's
good.
all right then, because the Club Racing UK sticker's on the boot.
It is, mate. You're right. It is. You're bang right. It is.
So unfortunately, Patrick. I mean that.
Yeah.
That doesn't look too bad.
3 broken wheels, 2 broken wishbones, broken steering arms, radiators a bit mashed. Genuinely, the list goes on.
The problem is it doesn't look too bad there, but it's what's behind it as what's been affected.
Twisted. You can see the front end's twisted there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Chassis rails bent, so we've got to jig all that out. Yeah. But I should say, you know, we had half a chance of getting actually back out on track, because we actually thought where that front corner was pushed in, we could actually remove some of the front bumper from that. And yeah, it's all right, should have crabbed a bit. But I should say credit to the guys at Supertune who were in the pit lane with us, while we had the car up in the air, trying to see if we could get out. They noticed that the back rear corner was all bent and twisted, and that was it. You know, we were too busy working out on the front, and they were helping out on the rear, and yeah, that was that. And you know, it's just a bit heartbreaking.
Can we watch it again? Yeah. See if we can figure out what happened. Oh, Steph wants to say something.
Before we watch it, and I'm not putting words in your mouth, Patrick, whatsoever. These are totally my own view, as we're on a bit of a rant of driving standards on this episode. That once again, it all seems very unnecessary. And again, we're emphasising the point that we do this for enjoyment and fun, and some people are taking it far too seriously. Probably watching the likes of British touring cars and going, I'm just going to send it, and smashing other people's cars up, including their own sometimes. And it's just ruining it for other people. I just, you know, you don't win sod all. So what's the point in?
You say you don't win sod all. You certainly ain't going to win sod all by getting in front of everybody on that first corner.
No, exactly. But I just don't know.
You got the whole race ahead of you.
Just, you know, I know it's egos and racing and all that stuff, but
I heard someone say that the weekend, and it won't be any different from your grid. There would have been 45 cars there and 45 egos sat inside them. So,
yeah, and I mean, credit to everybody. Right, so two bits of credits and mentions here. So, the clerk and the race steward, as soon as they saw the accident, the red flag came out, and because the 45 car grid. Mm-hmm. You could happily steam into a slot at that point.
Yeah, with something like that you can go in unsighted as well, which is a worrying bit.
And so they did really, really well to get that out as quickly as they did. And then the drivers immediately behind us. I mean, there's a couple of clips, and I can't remember which team it is, but he comes through the middle of the white BM and me as we separate. So he hits me. That spears him into Thorny Motorsport. And as the cars separate, he comes through the middle because he had nowhere else to go. And I mean, it genuinely looks like something out of a movie. So, I mean, those guys did really well to miss all of us. But, I mean, obviously I've had a bit of a while to calm down from it afterwards. And, when I immediately got out of the car, I asked the guy in the white M3 what happened, and I don't think I was quite that polite. And he said, well, he got hit. Now you can see it in the video. He moves across the front of me, and I think I didn't get the best of starts. And then I think the way that Tango's picked up when it's got on cam has caught him by surprise. So I think he thought the gap was there and has moved. Whether he did it consciously or not, he's moved slightly right because he's going to go past the other E36 on the left-hand side, and he's just come across the front. So, I get mistakes happen and stuff like that, but I mean, you can see it from our onboard. There was kind of no point as he starts moving right where he's kind of past us, and it's just, it sucks. It really, really sucks. So, yeah, and that's kind of where we are for the season now. So unfortunately, the repair bill's pretty big. I think if it comes in at less than $7,000, we'll have done pretty well. But for us now, there's the last race in Super Cup is November at Brands, which we're just not going to be able to afford to repair the car in time for that. So which is really frustrating because we've got obviously the students from Sheffield Hallam Uni who were going to be coming and joining us for that race for their first experience days. We've got two people through, so many of you have kind of followed us over the last year will know we did a similar partnership with Racing Pride to offer experience placements to people coming through the Racing Pride connection to help them enter motorsport. Oh, thanks, mate. And so those people aren't going to be able to join us, and it's one of those things that's it's more than just the damage to the car. And as we've talked about, we all want to make that Senna move. We all want to be that Max driver who pushes it down the inside and pulls off a massive, amazing overtake. But it's club racing, folks. If the move's on, the move's on. But if it's not, just have a think about it.
Don't be a cock.
Yeah. But look, there's despite all of that, it's racing, right? And this stuff happens in racing, and we're just gonna have to take it on the chin. We're gonna have to do some stuff to raise some funds. So, folks, we are going to be, and I'm not even going to, Chris. Yeah, new sponsorship shout out, absolutely, sir. But what I was going to say was this is not even a slightly unashamed plug. We are going to do a competition in the next few weeks whereby you can win a full test day, full paid for in our E46 M3 in cash, and with full tuition for the day, one-on-one with Sarah Moore. We're going to do it £20 a ticket, and I think it's going to be either 200 or 300 tickets. So quite a small number. So a fairly strong chance of winning purely because it's 20 quid a ticket. But hopefully that sounds like a pretty good prize for some people to come and get involved with. So we're going to do that. We're going to do some other bits to get us back up and going. But we've gone from that massive high we went to the massive low of Silverstone, which, I mean, I guess that's the joy of club racing, isn't it? Right. So, but I do have to a few thank yous. So, Nick at Any Sports Photography. I mean, this guy does a great job. So much so that 5 other teams on the Super Cup grid are paying him to supply them photos now as well. So if you want any PR work doing, if you want him to be at your race weekend, give him a shout. And if you need putting together, just get in touch with me. Happy to put you together. Racing Pride for their support. ADS Financial Planning are kind of main sponsor with the car. Obviously, the guys at Competition Classics who prepare the car, get it ready every race weekend, put us back out on the track when shit goes wrong. And then Sarah Moore, Chris Pratt, your help this year has been invaluable. And frankly, without it, we wouldn't have picked up the 2 trophies at the beginning of the year. So, yeah, thanks.
Positivity.
Well, the fat photographer in the car. Yes, Chris, because what you can't see below here is I'm not exactly svelte. So our seats are fairly accommodating.
Good. Well, Patrick, I mean, obviously you were an ambassador last year, but it's great to have you back on the show to tell us about your season. Hopefully, at the start of next year, you'll be able to come on and comment just how great it's going. And we can see some of the magnificent work you're going to be doing with Sheffield Hallam University, Racing Pride, moving forward. Yes, Nicholas.
Thank you, mate.
No, I was just going to say, we're all going to have a mega season next year. I can feel it in my bones.
Feel it in your bones.
In my bones.
You can probably feel it on your face now that you haven't got your beard.
I was going to say, he shaved that just in time as we're going into winter.
It's all right, it's back.
Oh, no. It's shocking, though, isn't it?
It's the Bin Laden beard, Christ. Chris Pearson, result put me down for a ticket. Well, speaking of tickets and prizes and winning things, let's move on to the competitions. There you go.
Oh, look, there was Tangoed
at the end.
I was really looking forward to bringing in the competitions bit because Tango's in there. Okay, Stefan. So we've got a motorsport drinks bottle competition, have we?
Yes, we have. One of them. Yeah, no, we've had it going for a while now, so you can win that. We're giving away 3 motorsport drinks bottle, custom ones, so you can do whatever you want with it. It'll have a ClubracingUK logo on it, but the rest of it is down to you. Obviously for our members only, and all you had to do was become a member. So if you want to enter, I suggest you do it extremely quickly.
If you've won a bottle, you've literally got about 40 seconds.
Yeah. So
I'm really sorry. I've just seen Nick Pearson's comment.
Which one?
That one.
Chris Pearson, not going to lie, Nick. So Nick's just put, for our audio listeners, Nick has put on a fake beard to make him look like Bin Laden. Not going to lie, Nick, you look like my ball bag now, without the beard, that is.
He's putting it back on.
I think I'll put it back on. Hold on.
We've got it got a fringe now.
That is a really shit toupee. Oh my god.
I quite like that look. It looks good, doesn't it?
That's right, doesn't it? Money well spent.
I like it. Right, so competitions, Steph. Have we got some winners?
Well, oh no, we got to draw some winners. We're making this up live as we go here. So I mean, we're trying interact with our viewers now. Well, if not, someone else can just pick some numbers.
If not, I can go with the random number generator and I can bring it up on the screen for you if you want.
Where's the fun on that? Let's try
who's been our most engaging members?
Let's tell me some numbers. Anyone that's
no. That's not going to work because every man and his dog's going to fucking post up a picture.
Just pick the top one.
Right, if you are
Three.
still watching the podcast, pick a number between 1 and 147 and put it in the comment. No?
142.
Oh. Not quite. We're a bit snookered there then. So pick a number between 1 and 142 and stick it in the comments.
We'll work away from the top down.
Who's going to be the first one?
There's no comments coming in.
Cool.
Neil Ashcroft, 73.
Neil's still there. Well done, Neil.
Oh.
Boom.
Can we try and listen to
Now, Steph's... No, don't cheat, Steph.
Right, we've got our first 3 numbers to pick the winner.
Yeah, bear with me.
Okay, so number 73.
Oh, so this is going to be painful because Steph's got to learn to count now.
Tell you what, the people are bringing up the numbers now, so I'll pick the 3.
Oh, I can hear the gears grinding from here, Steph.
If you're wondering what's going on, viewers and listeners, Steph is scrolling down the members list to find out who's number 73. Come on. Come on, Steph. Come on.
You can do it. He's probably at number 10 right now. Yeah, Use your hands, mate.
Gonna run out.
Use your hands.
Do you want to take your socks off? Then you can count to 20.
Oh, please tell me the next number is something like 130 odd.
It's going to be a shit show, though, isn't it? What number was it? I've forgotten already.
73, you absolute headhead.
The best thing was before the show, he was like, yeah, they'll just give us some numbers. I'll scroll down. Winner is this.
Right, Chris Payne. Chris Payne is our first winner.
Chris Payne is the first winner. Congratulations.
Chris Payne.
Not a Mr. Payne.
The next number, because I'm an absolute arsehole, is 99.
Can someone write these winners down, please? Because we'll only forget.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, but you can watch it back. It's fine, isn't it?
We could, but who would want to watch this back?
Chris Payne is our first
What was
winner.
it, 99?
99, I've put it up on the screen, you tosser.
Yeah, but I'm not looking at the screen.
Just fucking hell.
Just carry on counting from 73, Steph. That'll make it a bit easier.
We got 99 problems and Stefan is one.
Jesus, this is going seamlessly.
Look,
don't distract him. We'll be here till Christmas. So yeah, 99, mate. Come on. Same amount as the red balloon song.
Rob Gaffney.
Rob Gaffney.
Hey!
Well done, Rob.
Well done, Rob.
What's the next one?
And the next one, just because I am that childish, 69.
Yo.
Oh dear.
Definitely going to need a drinks bottle after that.
Oh.
Just count backwards from 73.
You've got to count back forward from 73.
Craig Abbott.
Craig Abbott.
Yeah.
Well done, guys.
Well done.
So
ladies and gentlemen, our 3 winners of the Motorsport Drinks customised bottle is Chris Payne, Rob Gaffney, and Craig Abbott. And just on the comment about the number, Phil Neal comes up, a meal for 2 with a hairy view. Thank you very much. I am so glad it is past 9 o'clock at night, Phil. Outstanding.
What we should say for all our winners, they're guaranteed to be watching.
They're guaranteed not to be watching. Right, okay. What other competitions have we got, Steph?
But hang on, just in case they are watching, so they get the information straight away. Just send a message to the Motorsport Drinks Bottles guys, Tom. Email him your logos or whatever you want on it, and he'll sort you right out.
Sort you right out. Okay, have we got a competition to do with the cameras? That's all.
With the what?
The camera, the competition
No,
they had.
Oh, that was drawn. That was drawn.
I know that was drawn, but who won it?
Oh,
Tell the people, man.
Who won it, Nick?
Yeah. Tim Mole.
Tim Mole won.
Exactly.
Yeah, we had a recent competition that was for anyone with wild GoPro remotes, giving away a Hero Session kit.
Yeah.
And all you had to do, all you had to do was go on their website, fill out the form, and you would enter. And Tim Mole's won, so congratulations to Tim Mole.
Well done, Tim.
Well done, mate.
We like Tim.
Yeah.
And of course, don't forget, we've still got the entries for team sponsors and drivers for the Burkett Relay Race.
Oh, I don't know. Have we?
Well, unless they all start flooding in pretty quick, that is going to be a bit of a no-no.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we haven't had as much of...
We thought we had an amazing idea with great intentions, and unfortunately...
We just need to get more sponsors on board to be able to take it to where we want it to go. So
we'll keep trying. But
well done, all the winners there from Megan Edwards. Okay, so I'll shut up about them for the moving swiftly on. As you can see, Nicholas is wearing a very striking orange number. Of course, it's one of the Club Racing UK #Orange Army shirts. You can also get yourselves one of these lovely, sexy stickers via the Uncle Luke's Sign and Sticker shop. Try saying that when you're pissed. Show your support for the Orange Army, especially after the events at Brands Hatch when we lost Robert Foote. So, yes, get yourself onto the website. There's possibly a photo there of me wearing one. I don't look as ugly as I normally do, so it may work for you guys. I don't know. And... well, you know, it's pretty fucking tough, Nick. But then you're the one drinking wine. Anyway,
I'm not actually. I'm drinking water. Keeping myself hydrated.
Oh, look at me! I've shaved my beard and now I hydrate myself now. Whoa. Go back to your quinoa and fucking sort it out. Anyway, so last thing, do we want to bring up this lovely partnership that we're still running with Racing Mentor?
Yeah, go for it. Well, so they're doing the sponsorship to Success Academy. So if you're wanting to succeed in your sponsorship approach with a better outcome than you're currently getting, then please go and check this out on their website. There's a link on our website. There's a link on our Instagram. There's a link on Facebook. They're doing all sorts of courses, but I think it runs out pretty quick. I can't remember what the date is off the top of my head, but it's very soon. So if you want to enroll yourself on the Sponsorship Success Academy, which is a 90-day course, with all that on screen right now.
Is it Friday, Steph? Actually, I have a feeling.
Is it Friday? Yeah, I know it's soon.
It's very soon.
You need to get involved pretty soon. I know that they're fully booked on their top tier one, but the rest they've still got spaces. So, honestly, if you're looking to get for sponsorship for next year to race for free, pretty much, I know it's a couple of £100, I think, the course, but it's money probably well spent. I mean, you know, that couple of £100 like that could probably save you a few thousand.
There is some very valuable tools, and definitely puts you in a different mindset about how, you know, if you are out there approaching sponsors. I know I certainly will be next year anyway, to try and get myself back in racing. Jess is very good at what she does, and will definitely put you in a very different thought process and put you in a very different position of how you can actually help these companies that you are talking to. You're not just going to go, hey, can I have a sticker? I'll put a sticker on my car and give me lots of money. It doesn't work like that. Get involved and you'll be very, very surprised just quite how easy and quite, you know, when you really think about it, just how easy it is to get your head around being of value to these companies, really.
Definitely. And they do all sorts of payment methods, so you haven't got to just shed it all out. I think you can pay monthly on all packages as well. So,
good.
Yeah, I mean, all I'd say on this, you know, is if you're not from a business background and you're going to start talking to businesses, you need to understand what it is that drives a business, right? Mm-hmm. And once you understand that, you can talk to them in a way that drives value to them. This isn't, and the biggest thing I know, Jess talks about this quite a lot, but it isn't you. Right? It isn't about you. It's about them. And once you can understand, correct. And once you can figure that out, the rest of it will start to come. But guys, I I come from a professional background, and I've done a lot of work with Jess, and she's taught me quite a few things. And I come from a business management structure in my outside racing life. So I promise you, like I invested money in Chris because Chris knows what he's doing, and investing money in Sarah. Pay the money to people who know what the fucking hell they're talking about. It's really simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little outlay now, but could save you a lot of money in the long run. So
yeah, and like you say, it's an investment for yourself to be able to. It's not something you're going to forget. You can take these tools on for years and years, and you're just starting out in your racing career, or you don't have to be necessarily starting out. If you've only been doing it for a few years, what have you? This will give you the tools to really make yourself very desirable and give you all the things you need to help these businesses branch out into motorsport.
Yeah, Mario, he's got a great. So, I was just going to say his comment, Rob, is a great one. Toby Trice, which is a great name, by the way.
Yeah. Currently leading the Ginetta GTA Championship with SVG Motorsport, picking up Andy Johnson and co.
And he's got there from being part of Jess's program, and I've been following him for quite a while. So, it's a great shout, Mario.
Fantastic. One last comment from Matt Clary. Are we bringing any merch to Snetterton?
What do you want, Matt?
Yes, Matt.
Let us know what you want.
Yeah,
you let us know what you want, mate. We'll bring it along. If you go on the website, it's got all our latest stuff on there. So just so you're not disappointed by asking us for stuff we don't have.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not able to sell the Club Racing UK branded fake beards. Potentially something we could do over the winter.
I don't know. I think this might be up for the next competition. To be fair.
Yeah.
Please tell me it's a new one, not that one. Not that one.
No,
you get that one.
You get to win my beard. I'll even lick it.
What?
Oh no!
What in the public health risk are you doing, Nick Holmes?
Oh, the viewing numbers have plummeted.
I was just going to say, Jesus
no, they're not.
Christ.
No, they're not. Don't lie. They've just doubled. Easy.
I mean, guys, if COVID started from a bat, then that thing's got all sorts of problems.
Anyone else on another lockdown?
I was going to say, COVID's destroyed Earth. That baked beard have fucking destroyed Mars.
I'm sorry, that baked beard?
Baked beard, fake beard.
Bacon beard.
Look, we've been on this for 2 hours, ladies and gentlemen. Give me some. Second prize is 2 beards, Neil Ashcroft, and Chris Pearson. That would end the pandemic. I don't know. I think
there you go. See, this could be the savior of the world right now.
No, it wouldn't. It would fucking end civilization.
Not at all. Not at all. Look at it.
All that leaves me to say, gentlemen, any other business?
You always ask us, and I don't ever come prepared with anything.
I just really want to shout Allah Akbar.
Oh.
Jesus Christ. No. And while we just get taken off the air for the moment.
Wow.
No, I'm putting it away. It's gone.
As it gets to that point, Nick won't be with us next week, obviously. He'll be locked up on various charges. For the moment, thank you very much to our guest, Patrick Seal, for joining us this evening. We hope next year, like I said, mate, we see all the fantastic work you get to do with Racing Pride, Sheffield Hallam University, and, of course, some superb results when you get back out in Tangoed.
Thank you, mate. And same to you, Rob, frankly.
Thank you very much.
That's the truth of it. But thank you guys for having me on. Thank you, everyone, for, kind of listening to me ramble on for a little bit. Appreciate it. Thanks for the love.
No worries.
Where's the happy ending?
Where's the happy ending? Somewhere else, Nick. For the moment, I've been your host, Robert Lewis, with these two, the 12-year-old Nick Holmes and Stefan Marsh. Don't forget, buy some merch at ClubracingUK.co.uk. That's all for now, guys. Hope you enjoyed the show. We'll see you in 3 weeks.
See you later.